Hello, everybody. Let's have a breakdown of Steph's miraculous game-sealing three that nearly hits the ceiling. This is clearly going to be wing pick and roll for Steph, so the question is who's going to set the screen? Trayce Jackson-Davis usually sets the screen, so he's kind of lingering in the area saying, "You want the screen?" And Steph says, "No." You see him wave off the screen twice. Why would he not want Trayce's screen? It's because Trayce has been picked up by Jrue Holiday. So if Trayce sets the screen, then Jrue Holiday just switches to Steph, or they trap him, so there's no advantage. So he says, get out of here, because he'd much rather pick on Al Horford here. So that means Chris Paul, of all people, needs to come up and set this screen. But Jrue Holiday knows this, so Jrue Holiday is going to switch to Chris Paul when he comes up to set the screen. So Chris Paul, this is like a little mini game. So Chris Paul points to Trayce and says, all right, forget it. I'm not going to set the screen since Horford is guarding you. So Trayce says, fine, let me go fast before there's any more shuffling. Trayce sets a completely flat screen, which makes it easier for Steph to get downhill. Derek White now following Al Horford, trying to contain Steph's drive. Jrue Holiday here is completely ignoring Chris Paul, which, to be honest, I think is the correct defense. And he's there to also help on Steph. Horford is trying to drive Steph towards the middle into Jrue Holiday's help. So Steph cleverly decides to spin move the other way to get on the other side of Horford to get away from Holiday's help. As he's spinning, he sees Derek White is in his face. So we have three guys defending Steph on this play. Steph also sees that Trayce is following as fast as he can. So Steph goes for this scoop spinning layup, which does not feel like that great a percentage shot, except for the fact that Trayce is following right behind and should have a really good shot at this offensive rebound. This shot is fated to miss, and the rebound is going to perfectly set itself up for Trayce to step up unhindered and have a huge putback dunk. Jonathan Kuminga here is busting his butt wrestling with Tatum here. I love JK going intensely for this rebound. It's been a key focus for the Warriors this season, getting Jonathan Kuminga to use his athleticism hitting the boards. So this is a good thing, but unfortunately, that means he is going to go for this rebound. Trayce is going to go for this rebound, and they both get it, unfortunately. So JK gets a hand on it, Trayce ready for the putback, and that's just bad luck. But the basketball gods, clearly wanting to reward the effort, have this ball pop out as a 50-50 right to Chris Paul. Because Trayce and JK were hitting the board so hard, everyone and their brother is sitting here in the paint, and they've actually forgotten about Steph Curry. So Steph's got his arms up like, hey man, I'm totally open. Chris Paul sees it all the way, but how is he going to get a pass through this thicket of Celtics? So he dribbles out to try to find an angle. Luckily, Celtics radar has not quite picked up where Steph is, otherwise they could pretty easily cut off this pass. But instead, Tatum goes to JK. Derek White, I think, is trying to find Steph, and Chris Paul throws the fastest catchable pass he can throw right in the gap. Outstanding pass. Derek White realizes 10 milliseconds too late where Steph is, and with the shot clock winding down, Steph has to shoot this instantly. He knows White is going to be there, so he's going to have to release this high to get over the contest. That shot, oh man, that shot. Let's wrap up with a celebration analysis. Gary Payton II with the earliest premature celebration that I've ever seen. The ball is squirted free, but Steph wanders out open with his arms out, and GP2 throws his arms out. To be fair, I think that this is actually him waving at Chris Paul to try to get him to pass it to the open Steph Curry. But GP2 keeps his arms up because he sees Steph is about to take the shot, so he figures, heck, let's flow this straight into a premature celebration. That's just biodynamically efficient. And as it goes through the air, GP2, arms up. This shot is so high, he actually needs to lean back in order to see where it's going. In the meantime, everybody else on the bench is acting like a normal human being and waiting to see what happens. And then as it goes through, you can see GP2 just starting to laugh like a madman. All right, we also need some night-night audits. Steph pulling out the night-night. We also have some sympathetic night-nights in the background. We have Trayce Jackson-Davis with the night-night, but there's some controversy about whether this is a proper night-night celebration because Steph leans his night-night on the right side. Here, Trayce is leaning his night-night on the left side. Some people have theorized that left-handers need to do their night-night towards their dominant hand. And look, our theory's prediction is confirmed. Brandin Podziemski in the background, thrilling rookie and left-hander. And yes, he is doing the night-night on his left side. So we are going to propose that both the left-handed and right-handed variants of the night-night be accepted as an international standard.